Spurs legend Heung-Min Son has come out and said, I want to go back to Tottenham. It will be emotional. Reports are stating that Spurs are after 19-year-old wonder kid Kees Smit from AZ Alkmaar. Jermaine Defoe has predicted a 1-1 draw away at Everton on Sunday. Eze has come out and said, I was prepared to go to Tottenham. And after Saturday's results in the Premier League, Spurs are down to 7th in the Premier League table, just 5 points away from top of the table. Hi everyone, hope you're well. Chris Cowlin here. This is another episode of Tottenham News where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start by talking about the results in the Premier League so far this weekend. On Friday evening, Leeds beat West Ham 2-1 at Elland Road. On Saturday, 4 games took place in the Premier League. Chelsea losing 2-1 at home against Sunderland. Newcastle beat Fulham 2-1 at St James's Park. Manchester United beat Brighton 4-2 at Old Trafford. And Brentford beating Liverpool 3-2 at the G-Tech Stadium. Now, after Saturday's results in the Premier League, Spurs are 7th in the table. Now, 5 games will take place on Sunday afternoon. Bournemouth will host Nottingham Forest at 2 p.m. Arsenal will play Crystal Palace, also at 2 p.m. Aston Villa will take on Manchester City, also 2 p.m. Wolves will take on Burnley, 2 p.m. And in the late kick-off, Everton against Spurs, 4:30 p.m. Now, on Saturday, the Tottenham Hotspur under-18s were in action, beating Leicester City 2-0 in the under-18 Premier League. Also on Saturday, Manchester United continued their 100% start to the Premier League 2 season as our under-21s came up short in a battle between 2 high-flying sides at Leigh Sports Village on Saturday lunchtime. The result was Manchester United under-21s 4, Tottenham Hotspur under-21s 1. Tottenham Hotspur striker Will Lankshear was on the score sheet again for Oxford United. On Saturday, his side beat Sheffield Wednesday 2-1 away. Lankshear scored the first goal of the game after just 12 minutes. He has now scored 4 goals in 11 matches in the Championship so far this campaign. Arsenal and England star Eberechi Eze has come out and said, I was prepared to go to Tottenham Hotspur in the summer, but from the moment that Arsenal came in, it was always going to be them. My first Arsenal game was special. It didn't almost feel real because it was something I've been dreaming of for a long time. It felt like the realisation of a dream. Now, Spurs legend Heung-Min Son, who of course left Tottenham Hotspur Football Club in the summer for LA Galaxy Football Club. Now, he has come out and said, I want to go back to Spurs. It will be emotional. This is what he had to say.
I want because I haven't still say. I think this is the right time to say because all the transfer was going on. Last game was in Korea, so obviously I will go back to London, see all the Spurs fans. I think I deserve it to say goodbye in front of them, and also they deserve to see me in a physically, to say goodbye. I mean, it's going to be a very emotional day as well, but I think I definitely can't wait to go back to London and see all the Spurs fans.
Now, of course, Spurs are in action away at Everton on Sunday afternoon, 4:30 p.m. kickoff in the Premier League. Now, Jermaine Defoe, Tottenham Hotspur legend, he has come out and said, Everton versus Spurs, a new stadium. It is a tough place to go. I think it will be a draw. I think a 1-1 draw. Pundit Paul Merson has also gone for a draw. Everton 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2. That's what he's gone for. And David Moyes, the Everton boss, has come out and said this is going to be a tough game against Spurs. They have got a great away record at the moment, but we've also got a pretty good home record. Give Me Sport and the Boot Room have both stated that Tottenham are among a host of Premier League clubs eyeing a future move for AZ Alkmaar rising star Kees Smit. The North London side are claimed to be showing real interest in the 19-year-old midfielder, whose displays in the Netherlands have caught the attention of multiple Premier League and European clubs. AZ Alkmaar are reportedly bracing to lose Smit in 2026 amid his breakout campaign, with the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich and Chelsea all having him on their radar. Smit captured the attention of top Champions League sides in the summer when he led the Netherlands to the European Under-19 title in Romania. After registering 4 goals and an assist in 5 appearances, the 19-year-old was named the player of the tournament and earned comparisons to former Manchester City star Kevin De Bruyne. And it has been stated that several Premier League clubs were in Amsterdam last week to watch Smit in action during AZ Alkmaar's 2-0 win against Ajax. Several English sides have watched Smit closely in recent months, including Brighton, Chelsea, Fulham, Brentford and Tottenham, registering their interest earlier this year. Give Me Sport then go on to say that Tottenham are likely to make changes to their midfield in 2026, with Yves Bissouma's contract expiring at the end of this campaign. The Mali international is yet to feature for the North London side this term and underwent ankle surgery this week after picking up an injury during the international break. Tottenham will also need to make a decision on João Palhinha at the end of this campaign, as they hold an option to make the midfielder's move from Bayern Munich permanent. Spurs travel to Everton Sunday afternoon at 4:30pm kickoff in the Premier League. Here are the match facts and stats. Everton won 3-2 against Tottenham in their last Premier League meeting. They have not won consecutively against Spurs since December 2012 in David Moyes' first spell at the club. Although they have only lost one of their last 12 Premier League away games against Everton, winning 3 and drawing 8, Spurs are winless in their last 6 visits to the Toffees, drawing 5 and losing 1, losing this exact fixture 3-2 in January. Everton have lost just one of their last 13 Premier League home games, winning 5 and drawing 7, losing 2-0 to Manchester City in April. They are unbeaten in 4 this campaign, last having a longer unbeaten start on home soil back in 2016-17 season, and that was the first 8. Since the start of last season, no side has lost more Premier League matches when scoring first than Tottenham, which is 8, while manager Thomas Frank ranks 3rd for this, 6 defeats, behind Marco Silva 8 and Ange Postecoglou 7. Although they have gone 5 games without a clean sheet in all competitions, Everton haven't conceded more than twice in a game since losing 4-0 against Manchester United last December. A run of 37 games, it is their longest run without conceding 3 in a game since between May 1987 and Feb 1988, and that was 46 matches. Tottenham Hotspur have the most away points in the Premier League this season, which is 10, winning 3 games and drawing 1, with 71% of their points this season being won on the road, 10 from 14. Only once in the Premier League era have they won 13 plus points in their first 5 away games of the season, and that was done so in the 2020-2021 campaign, and that was 13. Everton have won their last 5 Premier League matches played on Sundays, all under David Moyes. Tottenham's goal in their 2-1 defeat against Aston Villa was scored by Rodrigo Bentancur via a corner. In the last 2 seasons, only Arsenal 21 have netted more corner goals in the Premier League than Spurs, which is 13. Tottenham's Mohamed Kudus has made more dribbles in the Premier League than any other player so far this season, that is 64, and João Palhinha has made more tackles, 35, than any other Premier League player so far this campaign. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode. Now, first up, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who has been listening and watching for the last couple of weeks, and a big thank you to everybody who voted for us at the Football Content Awards 2025. The final will take place at Elland Road, Leeds, in a couple of weeks' time in November. So thank you so much if you did vote and you did nominate us in the first place. We will let you know how that goes, but it is just absolutely wonderful to be in that shortlist again. We've been shortlisted for so many awards since 2019, and a big thank you, and big apologies for not doing many episodes myself these last few weeks. Life has been pretty hectic with work, family, and all the other things happen in life, and I've been trying to do what I can can. But a big thank you to Craig Dearman for stepping in, certainly in these last few weeks. Without Craig putting a lot of content out, not a lot would have gone out on this channel. So a big thank you to him, and a big thank you to all of you for carrying on watching and listening. I've obviously still been going to all of the games, and travelling does take up a lot of the time as well, and I've put out what I can. Anyway, my thoughts on everything in this episode. Heung-Min Son, let's start with him. Tottenham Hotspur legend. Of course, the way that he left, he got a great send-off in his home country, South Korea. But of course, he needs to come back home to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. He needs to get that real, applause that he deserves. Tottenham Hotspur legend, my favourite all-time Spurs player, and I want to see him back at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I know some people have been asking the question, is it possible that, when their season ends in the US, he does actually have a clause in the contract that he can actually play for a European club. So that could happen. I've seen various reports actually stating that it's likely that he could go somewhere like AC Milan. Is it likely that he will come back to Spurs and play in the Premier League on loan? Of course, like David Beckham did back in the day as well. I think it's highly unlikely that he's going to come back to the Premier League and play for Spurs. I can see him going to AC Milan or somewhere like that, sadly, but I'd love to see him back in a Spurs shirt. And I tell you what, so many people said he's lost a yard of pace, he's not the player he once was, blah 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 blah. I tell you what, when you look at things now, and I said it at the time, I think that Heung-Min Son has got another season in him in the Premier League. And would I still love him at Tottenham playing in the Premier League for us? Absolutely. Do we have a better player right now playing on that left hand side? No, we don't. It was a big loss when Son went. But I tell you what, the reception he will get when he comes back will be unbelievable and very, very well deserved. A true legend of our football club. And I know sometimes that title does get thrown about quite often, but when it comes to Heung-Min Son, he is a real legend for this football club. And the way that he ended up leaving, having won the Europa League for us as captain, that was a wonderful moment in Bilbao. And of course, it was a wonderful moment when he came out and said, we effing won the Europa League, during that parade. It was an unreal moment. So I'm so glad to see him having left the football club with a smile. Would I have liked him to stay on? Absolutely. Now, Jermaine Defoe and Paul Merson have both predicted draws away at Everton on Sunday. I tell you what, when you look at the Premier League results of late, and when you look at the Premier League table right now, from 5th place all the way down to 15th place, only 4 points separate those sides. A win or a loss for some of these sides, you could be as high as 5th, you could be as low as 15th. So it's very, very interesting reading at the moment. Of course, Spurs are sitting in 7th after Saturday's results. We have played 8, we've won 4, we've drawn 2, we've lost 2, we've scored 14, have conceded 7, have a goal difference of +7. We have 14 points. Now, a win against Everton, if the other results go our way as well, Spurs could be up to 2nd. I know a lot of people have been very, very frustrated this week, particularly by the, not only the results, the performances as well. I don't think that the performance against Aston Villa last weekend was good enough, and certainly the performance against Monaco on Wednesday in the Champions League, that was not good enough also. And, when you have Thomas Frank coming out and saying, that he thought or he thinks that we've only had one bad game this season, I would like him to be a little bit more honest, because we've had a few bad games and it hasn't been entertaining, and this Tottenham Hotspur team need to do a lot more. A lot of people have been concerned this week. At this stage, I'm not writing the manager off. There is a lot of things I have liked about Thomas Frank, and there is a lot of things that he has done at the football club that I like so far, but there is a lot of work to do. I think we do need to put things into perspective sometimes. We did actually finish 17th in the league last season. Yes, we've signed a few new players, but that doesn't change everything. There is still a lot of work to do. But do I want to be entertained by Thomas Frank's Tottenham? Absolutely, yes. Now, Kees Smit, 19-year-old star of AZ Alkmaar, a wonderful player, a player for the future. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Spurs need to be signing more experienced players again in the next transfer window, and particularly next summer's transfer window, in order for us to really kick on. I do feel like we do have an excellent youth system, by the way, and we've got a number of players out on loan as well. And, of course, we've brought in a number of rising stars as well. And when you look at the list of clubs interested in someone like Kees Smit, is it realistic? And of course, AZ will be demanding a big fee for him. So that one is going to be an interesting one. Eze coming out and saying, I was prepared to go to Tottenham. I think we all know how that panned out. I know a lot of people are getting on the back of Javi Simons at the moment as well, stating that, he's not giving what a lot of people expected. I think sometimes, like Thomas Frank has come out and said that, some players, they do take a little bit of time to adapt, but I want to see Javi Simons in at number 10, and I want to see him get regular game time. And, in my honest opinion, I felt like, Thomas Frank got the team selection, certainly on Wednesday, very, very wrong. I don't know what Pape Matar has done, to not be in this Tottenham Hotspur team, particularly how he started the season. And I want to see Javi Simons in that 10. Why do a club like Spurs go out and sign Javi Simons, such a big signing in terms of money and, reputation? These players are brought in to play big games, big Champions League games on Wednesday. So I felt that Thomas Frank really got the team selection wrong on Wednesday. I know there is a lot of frustrated fans at the moment about team selection, about attitude. And, it did upset me on Wednesday, the fact that it did look heavily like we only went to Monaco for a draw. And that is exactly what Thomas Frank got in the end. But to be faced with 23 shots, and if Monaco, actually finished their chances and it wasn't for the heroics of Vicario, it could have been a very, very embarrassing night. It turned out to be a good point on the road in the end, but of course we cannot carry on like that. The emphasis at the moment at Tottenham is so heavy on set pieces, and that is not the Tottenham way. And I just hope that Thomas Frank, when he starts getting some of these players back from injury as well, the final third, we can start clicking, and we can start seeing some entertaining football. And I get set pieces are an important part of the game, particularly like Thomas Frank and so many other managers. It appears, at the start of this season, there's a big emphasis on throw-ins and various set pieces. But, Spurs fans want to be entertained. We want to be playing the Tottenham way. And I hope to see more entertaining football, at home and away games very, very soon. The Everton game, of course, that is going to be a difficult one on Sunday. Thomas Frank seems to be very confident that we are going to see a really good performance on Sunday against Everton. I hope he's right, because, at the moment, we haven't played the best, but we are only 5 points away from top spot in the Premier League after 8 games. So we're not in a bad position. It's going to be a tough couple of weeks coming up. Of course, we've got this Everton away game on Sunday, and then we've got Newcastle in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday, and then followed by the Chelsea home game the following weekend. So games are coming thick and fast. There is never, ever easy games. Let's just hope that we can start picking points up and, moving up that league table and going through to the next round of the Carabao Cup, then facing Chelsea and getting a good result. But most importantly, we don't want any more injuries. We want to stay injury-free, and hopefully Thomas Frank will start getting some of these injured players back as well, and, giving him more selection headaches, because that's what a manager likes. You like options, and, when games are coming thick and fast, you've got to rotate the squad. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Have a great weekend. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe and well. Come on, you Spurs.